It's time to start Homegrown Horror Volume 3. I have enjoyed this series so far. There have been some ups, there have been some downs, but everything has been somewhat enjoyable, and I'm glad I've watched it at most points. Now, I know absolutely nothing about the films in this set, so I dove into the weirdest title one, I think, HauntedWeen, to see what this was all about. And this, even though it came out in the 90s, feels very much like it was created in the mid-80s. It feels like a loving take on those kind of slashers, a DIY kind of movie with actual age-appropriate college actors in this one, which was appreciated. The film opens up with a haunted house. We get to meet young Eddie, a man who just feels a little bit off, a little bit twisted. He wants to work in the house rather than just taking money at the gate, and sneaks his way in there, kind of abducting a young girl, taking her into a secluded part of the house and chasing her about, scaring the wits out of her, when a tragic accident befalls her. She injures herself, killing herself, and Eddie just, there's only one thing he can do: decapitate her and run away. And 20 years later, Eddie, after his mother dies, returns back to his home to discover that a local fraternity has decided to maybe use this as a party place to raise some funds. And for the next chunk of the movie, we get to know all these college kids, and it is kind of fun. There's kids there that I liked, ones that I didn't enjoy, situations that were just obnoxious and silly, and some that were genuinely fun. And it kind of deviates a little bit from the scares and the blood and the guts as we focus on the kids trying to organise this house and get ready for this big party where we know exactly what's going to go down. And by the time we get to the montage sequence of them fixing up the house with a song with the lyrics HauntedWeen throughout it, I was sold.
In a haunted house on a haunted-ween, it's the biggest party that's ever been.
I was in this one. I was having such a blast of a time. It was so tropey and silly and kind of fun and just almost comforting at certain points. I was in on it. I was happy to go along for the ride on this one. Even though there hadn't been much action in the horror front, I kind of enjoyed the characters, but I could equally find some people finding this super annoying as well. It just kind of struck the balance for me. And when you get to the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes of this movie, which is 87 minutes long, it really ramps up and hits the ground running, because we start to see Eddie back and torturing and killing a lot of these kids, and it's done in a really fun way.
Take his head off!
I really kind of enjoyed this because these people are here for a haunted house. They're here to have a great time. They stumble into part of the house and they think they're seeing crazy setups of people being tortured and murdered. They just don't realise it's actually real, and Eddie is killing a lot of the college kids here, and they ram so much blood and guts and horror sequences into the last 20 minutes that it makes up for the fact that you've had practically nothing else for the rest of the movie.
Hang him! Let him hang!
It's fun, it's ridiculous, it's over the top. I think it's remarkably well shot. I think the performances are a little bit inconsistent and the script can be ropey at times, but that all adds to the charm of this kind of film. It feels like a really well done DIY kind of movie. No, it's not rough around the edges. It's pretty solid, and I have seen much worse slashers. In fact, I actually kind of enjoyed this one a good chunk. I would go back and watch this again. HauntedWeen was a hell of a lot of fun. Loved the characters, loved the situations. I loved the insane choices that were made. I loved the ridiculousness of the finale, which just ramped up with all these bloody sequences and silly scenes of gore that were just terrific as crowds watched on, cheering on the killer. It just made me smile, and yeah, I liked HauntedWeen a lot. I would love to know what you think of this film. Did you love it? Hate it? Fall somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comment box below what you liked about it, what you hated about it. We can have a little discussion. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.